大家好，这里是由中国体育报、中国体育和新体育网联合打造的东京奥运会冠军访谈节目《王牌登陆》。我们今天请来了马术王子华天 Alex，welcome。
Thank you for having me.
Can you say hello?
大家好 ，Hello everybody. 我是 Alex 华天 ，Very happy to be here. Thank you.
他刚才说的非常高兴，中文说一遍。
我很高兴，跟你们。What's the best way to say it? I'm very happy. 我很高兴和大家见面。
Okay.
我很高兴和大家见面。
OK， 非常好，非常好。所以华天，我在接下来的问题里边能用中文问你吗？
好，可以。
OK， 那我们现在先做一个云上签名。OK 啊，来，你请华天签下他的名字。中文，
对。
哦，他会中文的签名。OK， 我受一下啊，这是华天的中文签名，签得非常的漂亮啊。好，现在我来点提交。
好。Maybe I'll choose pen.
Okay, I think it's okay. Yes. Okay, so Alex, are you satisfied with the result?
用中文吗？
那我应该是用中文。OK， 那么在昨天的比赛呢都结束了。那么其实这次的成绩呢，我们中国队已经创造了历史。我们中国队现在取得的是第9名。OK。
对。
And 但是呢，其实你的个人成绩不如这个里约奥运会啊，是不是会有点失望
？I think I'm conflicted. Both two sides. I'm extremely proud of the team. My teammates Song Huadong, Bao Yingfeng, who competed, and also our reserve Liang Ruiji. Done a great job this week. We had a very safe strategy for the team. We really wanted to complete the team. That was our target for this week. And, I think we did a great job, a really great job. We finished 9th. It's our first Olympic Games. We've beaten a huge number of far more experienced teams than us, who made more mistakes.
For example?
For example, Brazil. For example, Japan. The Japanese were 4th in the World Championships 3 years ago as a team. So, I think we should be extremely proud of our achievement this time, and I think it builds a great platform for the future. My personal results, I've been through a bit of a roller coaster this week. Tang is a very special horse, and obviously I was 8th with him in the last Olympic Games.
Yeah.
But I always knew coming here to Tokyo that the conditions were not going to suit him. He's not a horse in his genes, in his breeding, the heat is going to suit. And that's not something that we can change.
温血马，唐是温血马，所以它不太适应这个炎热的天气。
Yeah, exactly. And so we started amazingly. Extraordinary to be 3rd after the dressage.
Yes. 盛装舞步之后排名第3。Yeah.
That was a dream. There were so many strong combinations here in Tokyo. I knew we would do a good dressage test, but I didn't think that we would be, 3rd going into the cross country. And then the cross country day. The problem with being 3rd is then you start to have unrealistic dreams about what might happen. But it pretty much happened exactly as I knew it would do. Tang was great. He jumped all of the straight options, all of the difficult routes. And he made it look and feel really easy. The course was 7 minutes and 45 seconds. And at 6 minutes, we were pretty much there, galloping really well. And I thought, oof. If we can just keep going, then we might just get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we jumped a big combination, I think fence 18, the coffin, which beforehand nobody had jumped the straight route and Don jumped the straight route, so I was really happy with that. But then I think at that point he used his last bit of good energy, and so the last minute and a half he was tired, and I just had to look after him a little bit in the last minute, and so then
you change your route.
No, we still went the same route, but he wasn't what we call travelling. He wasn't galloping as fast. He didn't have the energy to be able to do that. So I had to take the pressure off a little bit and just let him come home in his own speed. And then otherwise you risk not getting home at all.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of him because the conditions were never going to be easy. But disappointed because, you know, when you're in bronze medal position, to slide down the leaderboard like that is never easy. And then really for me, you know, the show jumping is Don's weakest phase, the final day.
Okay.
And it was
and he's tired. I think all the horses are tired.
Yeah, they were tired last night.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a strong enough show jumping track. It was big and it was technical. And the reason why I'm so disappointed with myself is that actually Don jumped the best round of show jumping of his life.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was his round of a lifetime. And we just came to the last fence, and I just trusted him a little bit, and I made a little bit of a mistake, and we stopped. And crashed through the fence. And I very nearly fell off.
And that's the one you got the penalty point 8.8.
Yes.
That's the one.
Right at the last fence on the course, he jumped clear up until then. If I hadn't made the mistake, I know he would have jumped the last fence clear as well. But
what happened? You made that mistake.
I think, you know, Don is. So we had what we call a related distance between two fences, and it was you had to make a decision. Is it a big 5 strides? Or is it a waiting 6 strides?
The rhythm.
Yeah.
The rhythm.
And Don is a big horse. He makes a big stride. So normally doing the 5 strides would be much better for him. And normally he would find that easy. And for some reason he didn't travel up the distance as well as I thought he would. And at the end, I should have just gone, jump it, just to make sure. But when you do that, you risk knocking a pole. And so I just sat behind him a little bit and said, go on, jump it. And he went, I'm sorry, I can't jump it from there, and stopped. Which is a really tragic way of finishing the round because, you know, it's dramatic. You crash through the fence a little bit. They ring the bell. You have to wait for them to put the fence back together, and then you take more time penalties for having to come and represent and jump the fence again. But the positive side is that I didn't fall off. Because if I had fallen off, the team then would have been dropped down a long way. And actually, thankfully, although my mistake there was very expensive for my individual result, thankfully it didn't make any impact on our team result. So you know, it's positives and negatives, ups and downs.
Yeah. 华天这个在参加这3项赛事的心情呢，就像一个过山车一样。那么在盛装舞步之后呢，他是排在第3位的，但是在这个越野赛的时候之后呢，是
18th after the cross country.
OK， 那就是第18位的，在越野赛之后是第18位的，然后在最后一项这个场地障碍赛呢之后呢是获得了第25名，25th 对吧？第25名。那么他说呢，实际上呢场地障碍赛呢是唐，就是他的那匹马叫唐，这是唐的这个最不擅长的这个一项赛事。但是呢，昨天呢，实际上他发挥的非常非常的好，应该是有史以来他发挥的最好的一次。那么他刚才也给我们解释了，就在有一跳之前呢，稍微犹豫了一下，然后又重新来过，然后当时那一跳罚分呢罚的是不少的。然后他也解释了，因为唐的步伐还有节奏出现了一些的变化。 啊，出现了一些变化。那么，然后他呢跟马之间呢就是没有完全的这个配合好。那所以呢，当然了，如果他当时冒险的去一次过，很有可能他就会重蹈覆辙啊，因为08年他就是从马上摔下来了。OK，so if you had 对，如果你摔下来，那可以说就是重蹈覆辙。I think you just repeat what happened in 2008.
Yeah, it was actually a very similar mistake in many ways. I made a mistake, but I guess the difference is that I made the mistake on the cross country, and the cross country is a lot less forgiving.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fences don't knock down, and so I made a similar mistake, and yeah, the horse hit the fence, and I fell off. So, yeah.
Okay, I saw somebody send one message. You know, he said, "I watched Alex the debut in 2008, and after he fell off from the horse, he's so disappointed, so sad. But he wrote." He said, "I can see the people's disappointment. It's not only mine." Yeah, so he said, "Oh, Alex is a very, very responsible, very, very honest person. You know, he just, you know." So you just thought about that after falling off?
So going back to 2008, I think.
Yeah, you're only 18, right?
Yeah, I was only 18, so you know, it was my first really big disappointment in my life, I think, at that time, and I think because it's your first, it's probably the most difficult to come to terms with, and I just remember being overwhelmed by all kinds of different emotions. I think initially was disbelief. I couldn't believe that I'd fallen off. It didn't fit into the narrative.
The scenario.
Yeah. You know, am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Secondly, just real anger at myself for making that mistake, and then thirdly, disappointment. You know, disappointment that, you know, I've put so much work into this. You know, all of my blood, sweat, tears. And then ultimately, I think, real upset, because I remember walking back, you know, from the fence back to the start with Wusong, and all of the crowds there who had been amazingly supportive and cheering.
They cheer for you.
Then being amazingly supportive of me walking back to the stables, and thinking, oh my goodness, you know, it's not just. You know, I'm not just disappointed for myself. I'm disappointed for everybody here supporting me.
Yeah.
And not just everybody here supporting me, but my team as well. You know, my groom, my Mark-Ong, Elodie, who, you know, spent 2 years looking after me as a 17, 18-year-old boy. Not so easy. My coaches, my Majul.
Yeah.
You know, all of these people who believed in me and supported me, you know, to fall off a fence in Hong Kong was really tough. And that, for me, I think that was the most difficult thing to come to terms with, was understanding that, you know, I even though they were very gracious and said I hadn't.
How did you overcome that?
I think with time. I think with horses, you never have time to overthink things. You're always you know, yes, I'd fallen off, yes, I was disappointed, but within that, my first concern was making sure that that Wusong was okay. You know, he half fell as well. Was he okay? You know, we needed to get him cooled down. We needed to get him comfortable back in the stable. And you know, I had good friends and family that helped support me through it. And you know, at that time I was, you know, I had a week, and then I was back at school again. So I didn't really have a huge amount of time to think about it and process it. And I think the whole episode probably took me a few years to really understand what it meant for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is your third Olympics. If we recall the past experience, what do you like to tell the Alex in 2008?
I think, you know, not to agonize about the small things. You know, it will, you know, just to keep looking up and keep moving forwards. And if you're ambitious and work hard, and keep going, be resilient, then you'll get there. You know, and I think that's what I've learned is actually the most valuable thing you can have is resilience. Whatever you're doing, you know, if you can keep going longer than other people can, then you'll get there.
Okay, good. And 我们再谈谈华天的马。这个唐呢是在里约的时候是9岁，那个时候他刚9岁，那么现在已经14岁了。据说你在来之前还要在唐和林希王 Spike 之间做出选择，是吗
？So yes, so I had the two wonderful horses, which is a amazing position to be in. You know, 90% of the riders here in Tokyo had just the one horse they qualified or the one horse they were selected on. And if that horse is injured or has a problem in the last few weeks, or even when they get here, as we've seen with so many horses whilst we've been here, then that's your Olympic dream over. So I had two wonderful horses, and to be honest, I really struggled to decide which one I wanted to bring. You know,
我记得里约奥运会之前，好像你就是临时换的马。
Yeah, so I had Don again was for Rio was also my second choice.
Yeah, why? Why is he always your second choice? If I were Don, I'm so disappointed with you.
I know.
对，唐好像永远是第二选择。
Yeah. Well, the problem with for Don is as a personality, if the conditions are right, if it's not too hot, if it's the right course for him, if the arena is not too spooky, if the traveling is not too far, all of these things, if these things are all okay and they're right for him, we manage them right and there are no problems, then he is a world-class horse.
Okay.
But if one of those things don't suit him, like here at the heat here, don't suit him, then he finds it very difficult.
How high maintenance?
He is very high maintenance. He is very high maintenance. He is very high maintenance. And Ling Xiwang and also Pai Da-xing, who was my first choice for Rio.
Yeah, Pai Da-xing, 对.
They're both less talented horses physically.
Okay.
But they are much easier horses to manage. And when you're coming to an Olympic Games with the traveling involved, with the pressure, with the difficult conditions, and lots of unknown factors, having a horse that you're not sure is going to perform 100% is a big decision to make.
OK， 派大星和林希王也是善马吗？还是
？Yeah, they were both geldings. Yeah， 还是善马。对，
还是善马。哎，为什么你总选择善马呢？你看那个包英凤和孙华东都选的是
girls. Yeah，
对啊，都选的是女孩。
To be honest, actually, that's quite rare. So there are.
你说选女孩很少见。
Yeah, so mares are wonderful horses, but they are quite at the top level of the sport. There are more geldings, more shanma than mares, and I can't really tell you the exact reason why, but geldings, shanma, do tend to be a little bit easier to deal with.
Oh, okay.
You know, more reliable.
Okay.
But obviously, if you find a muma, a mare that wants to fight for you, like Lady Chin and Flandia, who are both stunning horses, then you're very, very lucky.
哦 ，OK， 所以女孩是得百里挑一。
百里挑一是吧？
百里挑一 is very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah, very rare. You have to choose them maybe 100, from 100 only one. Is
Well, maybe not
or
that rare, but quite rare. But quite rare.
Okay. 所以唐最终选择了唐，是因为他是一个有天赋的 talent。
Yeah, very talented.
对，然后在各种情况下，如果环境非常好的话，它是能超水平发挥，是一个 world class horse，是一个世界级的马啊。OK， 那么下一个目标有吗？
目标是什么？
我们说这个 no， 我们说其实参加这个赛马比赛的人呢，是可以到年龄非常大的。我记得你说过有一个56岁的英国马手。
Yeah, won gold in Rio.
Yeah. At the age of 56, he won the first gold medal.
He has a new hip, metal hip.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Nick Skelton. Yeah, and he also broke his neck in an accident many years beforehand. So. You know, a very inspirational man.
But how about this time? He didn't come?
So he retired after Rio.
OK, retired after. 我们提到了一位赛马选手，他是在56岁的高龄才拿到他的第一块金牌。然后刚才华天说他这个换了个股头啊，然后还这个受伤了，然后他已经在履约之后呢退役了。但当时华天是觉得他是一个非常值得学习的榜样。Okay, so how long you think your career will be?
Oh, I don't know.
我在问他你的职业生涯会到什么时候？Okay,
big question. I mean, you know, it's not just Nick Skelton who was the 马术障碍骑手 for the British rider who won gold in Rio, but also there's Sir Mark Todd as well from New Zealand, who was 62 and beat me by 1 place in Rio. So, you know, I potentially have a long career ahead of me. And
8, 10 Olympics? 8届、10届奥运会是不是可以？
You know, the Olympics are the dream.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell you how much the Olympics, the movements, what it means, the competition, the goal, the triumphs and the disappointments. I can't tell you how much the whole package means to me. And I guess I can't see as long as I'm fit and healthy and I have the support. I can't see me stopping ever. So we'll see. We'll see how long I go for.
Yeah, but Don would take part in this.
No, so Don is 14 now, so this is his last Olympic Games. He possibly might go to the World Championships next year in Italy. But I think it's very unlikely he will still be competing at this level in 3 years' time. He's towards the end of his career now.
Okay, so you're going to change one horse.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. You know, it's a.
会是林希王吗？
Possibly. Ling Xiwang is 12 years old, so he'll be 15 for Paris.
15 is old age
towards
or
the end of the career. Towards the end of the career. Pai Da-Sing went until he was 17. But that's not normal. Normally 15, 16 is towards the end of the.
Okay, so the best age for the horse to take part in the competition is competition
11 to 14, I would say.
OK, 11岁到14岁是马儿表现的巅峰时期。
So possibly Spike. I have some young horses as well. I have a lovely horse called Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Yeah.
Juliet?
No
Juliet.
Maybe I will find my Juliet. But you know, part of the Olympics, part of the competition is finding the horses that you need for the next Olympic Games. You know, that is part of my job as a rider is not just riding the horses, but finding the support, finding the module to support me to go out and source the horses that we need to make the dreams happen.
Yeah. 我刚才和华天也探讨了，就是唐可能到下一届奥运会之前就退役了，可能也就在2年后还能参加比赛，那么他可能会换马，那么马的年龄呢是有限制的，他现在还有一些更年轻的马，但是呢，如果想要换的这些更年轻的马呢，也需要有马主的这些赞助，因为光凭这个华天的力量呢是无法来完成这些养育啊所有的这些工作的。Okay, so I saw your hairstyle. I watched some video that you cut your hair by yourself.
Oh no, not normally. Not normally.
在疫情期间呢，我看到了一些视频啊，就是华天自己给自己理发。
That was during lockdown.
Yeah, during lockdown.
So I cut my hair twice during lockdown.
理过2次发。
Because my hair was just so long. It was so long. I couldn't bear it anymore. I didn't care what it looked like anymore. I just wanted to cut it off. The problem was Sarah is a wonderful person, but I think almost all of our friends and family would agree that she is not somebody that you would trust.
他说他的女朋友也不是一个合适的人选。
She has a terribly, terribly dark sense of humor. And probably I trusted myself to cut it better than I trusted her to do it. Yeah, you know, I bought all the things off Amazon and had a mirror and sort of made a contortion of myself.
Okay.
And tried
Besides horse riding, you have some other hobbies? No.
Sleeping, eating, spending time with the dogs.
Sleeping, eating. 哦，我在问华天有没有什么其他的兴趣，除了骑马，他说就是吃、睡，然后跟马在一起。
狗在一起。
Sorry， 狗在一起啊，跟他的狗狗，他有2条狗。Okay.
Well, that's probably oversimplified. You know, I love to travel.
他还喜欢旅遊。
We've had some wonderful trips as a family over the last few years. We decided as the Hua family that we should, you know, whilst we have time, try and visit some important places that mean something to our family and our family history. So we went, you know, my grandfather very sadly passed away in 2010, and we went a few years ago to Yan'an to visit where he ran away from his family when he was a child to join the revolution. And you know, for me, and especially for me and my little brother, who are, you know, obviously half Western, half Chinese, we've had limited opportunity with time to visit different parts of China, and you know, we understand enough of history and you know, past generations to understand.
Okay. So the next destination of your trip is China.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think you did it. Okay, you already made so much accomplishment, you know, for the promotion of equestrian in China. Yeah. So next trip is still China.
Yeah. Well, no, I think after this I go straight back to the UK. I finish the competition season in Europe this year, and then hopefully in end of September, beginning of October, I will come back to China. And I plan to spend a good couple of months in China. I think first of all, obviously, have to quarantine, and then straight into seeing family and friends and everybody that I haven't seen for 2 years.
Okay, so see you in Beijing.
Yes, really hope to see you in Beijing.
Okay, thank you. 我们刚才说，华天呢，实际上已经为中国的马术的推广做出了很多啊。虽然这次个人成绩并不好，但是我们中国马术队已经创造了历史。OK， 他也说他的下一个目的地呢还是中国，那么他将回去和朋友相聚，而且我们也相约北京再见。好，我们现在看看知乎的网友也有一些华天的问题啊。这个问题问的是5步比赛华天的马进步很大，马的技术动作发生了本质性的提高，但是他骑派大星的时候呢，立定和倒退 这个不太好，但是呢，唐的这个表现非常的好。观看这次的舞步，华天的这个策略呢，就是比较小心，然后呢，基本上是以不影响马为前提完成的。可以看出平时这个马的舞步训练做得不错啊。就我们的网友在表扬唐在舞步的盛装舞步比赛里的表现。OK 啊。The audience, they just praise, Dan's performance in dressage.
He did a good job. He did a good job.
So they asked, what about the training? How did you do the training to make it so great in dressage?
So Don is actually his breeding is for dressage. It's for pure dressage. So he actually was not bred. His purpose in life is not to do eventing.
Okay.
And that is why he found the heat hard on the cross country on Sunday. But what it does mean is normally at the beginning of the competition we start very high in the dressage because he's a beautiful, elegant moving horse.
Yeah.
He finds the movements very easy. He's very trainable. And so if you compare him to horses like Pai Da-Xing, I think Olympics was, and to Ling Xiwang, Pai Da-Xing and Ling Xiwang have a more limited talent in the dressage because they are less extravagant. But they can gallop further and they can gallop faster.
OK， 第二个问题，马术3项是对人和马最综合的考验，单纯血或温血都难以满足这项运动对马的要求，所以马匹杂交技术和训练很重要。这个华天的这项运动呢是被马术的重点呢现在是国家的这个体育的支持项目，而且呢也是因为华天呢，所以这项运动越来越有人关注。So the breeding of the horses is very important.
Very important.
The mix.
Very important.
It said the mix is very
important. It is, yeah, that's right. So in eventing, normally the modern horse is normally a mixture between your racehorse, the thoroughbred, and the European sport horses, the warm bloods. And the mixture between these two types of horse is very important. So Don is more dressage bred, so he's more warm blood, so he's only 20% thoroughbred, which is why he found the heat very hard, why he found this time on the cross country very difficult. Normally, for eventing at this level, you're looking for a horse that's at least 50% thoroughbred. That means that they can make the time, it means that they find the cross country a little bit easier. Okay. But normally, then these horses, the ball is less good.
Okay.
So it's, the best thing is if you can find a 50% plus thoroughbred horse.
I hope next
can do the dressage.
Yeah, I hope the next one.
But this is the horse that everybody is looking for. So very difficult to find. But also then when you do find them, you have to have very deep pockets to buy them.
Yeah, so deep pocket.
Yeah,
we have to find a good owner.
Yeah, exactly.
OK， 第3个问题呢，就是说其实也不是问题了，就是很多人都希望他能够继续提升成绩，而且也希望你能打破更多的世界纪录。
Thank you.
OK， 感谢华天做客演播室，今天的内容就到这里，下面我们转回北京。